This is the Reolink Trackmix, and this is a 4K pan and tilt zoom camera from Reolink. And it has two lenses. It has a zoomed in lens and also has a wide angle lens. And is also able to track me. Is this gonna be a good option for your home? Well, let's find out. Hello guys, LifeHackster here. Today we are going to review the Reolink Trackmix. This is the new outdoor pan and tilt with hybrid zoom 4K camera from Reolink, and currently has two models, a Wi-Fi version and a PoE or Power over Ethernet version, and both of them are wired. A unique feature of this camera is that it has two lenses, one with a wide-angle lens and the other with a telephoto lens. And Reolink didn't stop there. They added a software under smart tracking that when the camera detects AI motion, which are person, pets, and or vehicles, it will track the movement and zooms in using the narrow field of view lens. It mixes both views of the lenses that makes it look it is zooming in, but it is just transitioning the shot from a wide angle to the telephoto one. It can digitally track first, even when the camera is not physically moving yet. And when the movement gets out of the view, then the camera's pan and tilt function works to continually track the movement. The idea is to have a wide shot and a zoom in shot of the motion to have more details. We'll do a quick overview of its features, do the unboxing, set it up and install. And we'll test out its features and see if the Reolink Trackmix will be a good option for your home. Thank you Reolink for sending me these cameras to be reviewed, and I have both the Wi-Fi and also the PoE versions. And I'll tell you the differences later on. And if you find this video helpful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't done it yet. Thank you and I appreciate it. Let's check out its specs, and these are the same for both models. They record in 4K resolution 3840 by 2160 at 25 FPS in daytime or in color night vision mode, and only in 12 FPS when in infrared night vision. There is a caveat for the 4K resolution, which I'll tell you later on, so keep on watching. Field of view, widest lens is 104 degrees horizontal and 60 degrees vertical, and the zoomed in lens is 38 degrees horizontal and 21 degrees vertical. This is a pan and tilt camera with a 355 degree pan and 0 to 90 tilt. The Trackmix does have spotlights for color night vision, 6500 Kelvin white light, and 450 lumens. It also has the traditional infrared night vision. As to recording, this camera can record 24/7, motion triggered or scheduled, and you can install a microSD card up to a 256GB card, or you can store the recordings to Reolink's NVR or to an FTP server. This camera is outdoor rated and weatherproof. They also have AI detection, person and vehicles, and they now have pet detection, which is in beta but seems to work pretty good. It accurately detects my 50-pound dog, and it does track it too. It has two-way audio and a siren. Now, the difference between the PoE and Wi-Fi versions is that the PoE just needs one Ethernet cable hooked up to a PoE injector or PoE switch, or from the back of the NVR. The Wi-Fi version uses 2.4 or 5 GHz Wi-Fi to transmit video and audio, and that is why there are two MIMO antennas. You also can directly connect this to your router, but it still needs to be powered up and plugged in separately. What is inside the box? And this is the Wi-Fi version. You will get some paperwork, a quick start guide, a window decal, a mounting template, which is good that you can install this either in a wall or ceiling. Then we have the waterproof lid guide. We have a short Ethernet cable. We have a 4.5 meters or about 15 feet power extension cable. We have the Ethernet lid. We have the power adapter, 12 volts 2 amps, mounting screws and plastic anchors, and we have the camera itself. I'm really liking it because it has a smaller footprint than what Reolink usually sells, like their RLC823A. This part right here with the Reolink labeling is made of metal. The top and the mountpiece is rigid plastic, and you'll be able to install this under the eaves or ceiling or in a wall. We have the two antennas for the Wi-Fi version. The panning arm is plastic, but the camera body is metal. We have the two lenses, light sensor, spotlights, and these are the infrared LEDs. On the bottom, we have a covered microSD card slot. On the back of the camera is the speaker. And for the wiring, we have the 12-volt port here for power. It does have an Ethernet port to directly connect this to your router, which you don't need if you will be using Wi-Fi. As to setup, just follow the instructions on the app, which plug in the camera for power, select your Wi-Fi info, show the camera the generated QR code, and wait until it is connected. It will then show up on the bottom of your device's list. Click on it and you will see the live view and also the difference of the field of view of the lenses. Time to install this. With the Wi-Fi version, I'll install this under the eaves. I screwed in a board to the beam for extra support. Put in the template and screw in just 2 screws initially and not all the way, and you can push in the camera's mount screw holes and slide it in to hang onto the screws. And now you can secure it with the 2 other screws. As to the PoE version, I'll do a wall install. Screw in the 2 screws partially, hang the camera and tighten the screws, and secure it more with the 2 additional screws. As to the settings of the app, I'll just show more on the camera's new features because there's a lot of settings that you can tweak. But when you open up the app, you see the snapshots of the camera from the 2 lenses, wide and zoomed in. Click on it to get to live view. You can start two-way talk or view playback and also control the pan and tilt. In here, there is a joystick to manually move the camera. You can also zoom in on the zoomed in shot, which I think is a digital zoom. And you can also adjust the speed of the pan and tilt. You can also set the monitor point where the camera will default to come back after it tracks and after a set time that you set. You can also add preset points. Move the camera to the area you want to set, go back to the preset point and click the plus sign. Name that point. And now it is saved, and you can easily go to that saved position just by tapping it. Click on the gear icon to get to the camera settings, and I'll just show you here the detection alarm. And on the bottom, you can toggle on or off auto tracking, and you can choose which AI you want to track, person, vehicle, and or animal. And also there is a tracking method. You can choose digital tracking only, and it will be software based, and the camera itself will not physically move. You can choose digital tracking first, and then when the motion gets out of the wide lenses view, then the camera will start to pan or tilt. Then there is the physical panning and tilting first before digital tracking. In my testing, I set it to digital tracking first. Also in the video quality setting with the Wi-Fi version, it defaults to 15 frames per second, but you can set it to 25 FPS. With the PoE version, the 25 FPS is the default and also the highest frame rate that you can set. Time for testing, which I'll be using auto tracking. And also something to note, the wide angle recording is in 4K resolution, but the zoomed in one is only recording in 1080p. So this is the video and audio quality of Reolink's Trackmix, and I have the PoE version recording at 25 frames per second, which is the default, and the Wi-Fi, which is recording 15 frames per second, which is a default. But it can also, the Wi-Fi can also be changed up to 25 frames per second. And this is the video quality at 10 feet. I have tracking on both of them. 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. So this is the video quality of Reolink's Trackmix at night, and this with the spotlight turned on, and this is what it looks like at 10 feet, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. So this is the video quality of the Reolink Trackmix at night, and it has 2 infrared LEDs, and this is with the spotlight turned off. This is what it looks like at 10 feet, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. We are going to test the motion alert notification speed of the Reolink's Trackmix, and this one we're just gonna test the Wi-Fi version. It should be the same also on the PoE. Now it's 3:49 and I'm on my LTE connection. Let's check it out. There you go, that quick. At this time, no snapshot preview yet, but when you click on it, it should load up the live view and loads up pretty quick. As to the cool off, the notification you can set it to every 20 seconds. So let's try it out. And it's 350, and let's see. It should give us a notification again. It's past 20 seconds. There you go. Cool. Alright, so let's test the maximum detection distance of the Trackmix, and I've set both of them, the PoE and Wi-Fi versions, highest sensitivity for person detection, and also I'm gonna go through my fence line, and this is 50 feet, at least for the PoE version. It's probably about 45 feet for the oh yeah, he got me. The PoE got me. The Wi-Fi well, the Wi-Fi also got me. Cool.
This is the audio quality coming up from Reolink Trackmix. This is the audio quality coming up from Reolink Trackmix.
We are going to test how loud the motor of the Trackmix is, and I'm gonna put the mic about a foot away from the camera. You could barely hear it. The tilting doesn't even make a sound. Overall, this is a great PTZ or pan and tilt zoom outdoor security camera. First, I like the smaller footprint and that you can install this under the eaves or ceiling. And this will definitely be an excellent deterrent, especially at night when those spotlights light up and also follows you. The tracking is pretty decent, but what I like aside from the zoomed in shot is that there is also a wide shot, like more for a backup, just in case there are more than one person in the field of view. This camera, just like any other PTZ cameras with tracking, they will only be able to track one person at a time, and usually the bigger or one that is closest to the camera. AI detection is pretty solid, even with their new pet detection. The zoomed in shot recordings are only in 1080p, but I really don't blame them because to be able to do digital tracking, they have to get the shot within the 4K footage. And the zoom in shot is way clearer than digitally zooming in the 4K footage. I'm planning to hook this up with my NVR and replace one of my static ones. We will see. Any questions? Comment down below. Thanks for watching and see you in the next one.